So today, y'all see what's going on here. Rexy versus the Spinosaurus versus the Giganotosaurus versus the Indominus Rex, all from the Jurassic Park / World franchise, going head to head. Who wins? Let's find out. So, as first, we have to talk about their size, and all of these carnivorous dinosaurs are quite massive. Very quite massive. Rexy stands 18 feet tall, is over 40 feet long, and weighs somewhere in the realm of 5 to 6 tons, closer to 6 tons. The Spino stood 20 feet tall, was 44 feet long, and weighed about 7 tons. The Indominus was just as tall as the Spino at 20 feet tall, was 50 feet long, and also weighed about 7 tons. And the Giganotosaurus stood 18 feet tall, was 45 feet long, and weighed 9 tons. So, the Giga is definitely the heaviest one here, but all in all, the Indominus is bigger. She's just as tall as the Spino at 20 feet, and she's definitely the longest one here as well. So, what's going on with strength? Rexy easily moved and flipped over cars, easily bust through a massive tree trunk, easily bust through an entire Spinosaurus skeleton, through a raptor with enough force to destroy a full T-Rex skeleton, fight against the Indominus and slam her to the ground, fight against the Giganotosaurus, held back a helicopter for a good while, and even punked a Carnotaurus twice. The Spino easily destroyed a plane, accidentally knocked over a big tree, overpowered and killed a T-Rex by breaking its neck, and bust through this massive big metal gate. The Indominus forced open a massive automatic shutting door, sent a car absolutely flying, overpowered and killed an Ankylosaur, killed several long-neck type dinosaurs, destroyed a big part of an old building by busting through it, sent Blue flying with enough force to crack concrete, and overpowered Rexy. And the Giga in the deleted prologue scene easily killed a T-Rex, and then in the movie itself, easily fought off a T-Rex with this very, very little struggle, destroyed part of a building, and then overpowered and temporarily knocked out Rexy. In terms of bite force, the Spino is the weakest, while the other three are probably very close. Rexy has a bite force of 12 tons, and the other two are probably right there with it. With durability, Rexy endured deep gash wounds from 2 raptors to the neck that left permanent scars, as well as massive attacks from the Indominus and the Giga, and was at least bullet resistant. The Spino took attacks from a T-Rex, including a bite to the neck, and endured being hit by a plane to its cell, which I found out here recently wouldn't have paralyzed it, but still would have been very painful, as it still would have broken a bone or two. And he just walked it off like it was nothing. The Indominus was bulletproof, and she withstood being hit in the face by an Ankylosaurus' tail. Attacks from Blue, her sisters, and Rexy got right back up after an RPG explosion knocked her over, and she didn't even immediately die when the Mosasaurus bit down on her neck. 13 tons of force right down on her neck, and she did not immediately die. And the Giga withstood being tased in the eye, being slashed by the Therizinosaurus across the face, having a freaking fire spear thrown into the back of its mouth, and took attacks from Rexy with no real injury to show for it. And speed isn't important for this fight. They all have 2 legs that they travel on. Not that important. They're all probably very similar. So physically, Rexy is the weakest one here overall, simply because she's the smallest one here. Then I'd say it's the Spino, and then the Giga and the Indominus are pretty close. However, in terms of battle experience, Rexy is the best one here. We've seen her easily kill 2 raptors, a Gallimimus, trash a Carnotaurus twice easily, beat and presumably kill a full-grown Triceratops, and there's even concept art of Rexy beating a Spinosaurus in Fallen Kingdom before the idea was nixed. But I wanted to include it, saying that, yeah, she could do this. We know the Spino killed a 13-foot tall T-Rex pretty quickly, We know that Giga scared off a T-Rex rather easily and then knocked out Rexy for a decent few minutes. And then we know the Irex killed 2 raptors, and Ankylosaur, at least 4 long-neck type dinosaurs. The Indominus can also camouflage itself, and it's the smartest one here, as she was able to strategize and plan, set traps, and even showed long-term memory. She also had the longest and most usable arms and claws, which is what really gave her the edge over Rexy. The Spino also had long arms and claws, and even showed it could grip onto things, like when it broke that T-Rex's neck. And lastly, just some remarks about each of them. It was stated that the Giga was the biggest and the top apex predator of the sanctuary surrounding Biosyn, despite 3 T-Rexes living there. And no dinosaur could beat the Giga single-handedly. The Spino was an absolute tank on Isla Sorna and was the biggest, baddest dinosaur there. Upon escaping her enclosure, the Indominus went on a complete warpath, killing anything and everything in her sight, and was only killed by the 50-ton Mosasaurus. And Rexy was the undisputed top predator on Isla Nublar from 91 to 02, and then again from 2015 to 2018. And I presume is, again, the top apex predator of the sanctuary surrounding what was Biosyn. I'm assuming that she's bigger than the buck and doe T-Rex there, and we didn't see any other big carnivores there. That the movie didn't show us any other big carnivore. Although there's theories that the Spinosaurus was there, there's no proof to show that. So I'd say Rexy is probably the big one in charge there now. So who wins? Well, either one of these 4 massive carnivores could win. Any one of them could win given the right scenario. And it is a 1-on-1-on-1-on-1. A fatal 4-way battle royale, if you will. Anything can happen. Any of them could win. But if we're going to think logically, ABC order, with all their advantages and disadvantages and whatnot, I am siding with the Indominus Rex. Rexy does have the most battle experience, at least that we've seen on the screen, but she's also the smallest one here, and she only has one real weapon, and that's her mouth. Yeah, she can use her head, she can use her tail, whatever. Her main weapon, her main true weapon, is her mouth and her bite force. She's a queen, but she's losing this fight. The Spino's biggest downfall is its sail on its back. No, breaking it wouldn't break its spine, but like originally thought, but it still hurt a lot, and it's a pretty easy weakness to exploit by any of the other 3 dinosaurs, as they're all 3 big enough to bite onto it. And with their bite forces, easily could crush it, right? Break it, whatever. It wouldn't take him out of the fight, but it'd still be extremely painful. Might make him run away, or something of that nature. In between the Giga and the Irex, the Giga's only advantage is that its heavier size and build, which it could use to overpower the Indominus, being, about 2 tons heavier, which is 4,000 pounds. But with Rexy being smaller than the Irex and still being able to hold her own against the Giga, I doubt that would really happen. Especially since the Irex is bigger than Rexy and has much greater intelligence, has more usable claws, the camouflaging, and the overall just more aggressive nature. And yeah, I'm siding with her at the end of the day. Like I said, any one of these 4 could win this fight. The Giga, though, was not aggressive like the Indominus was, simply just protecting its territory. That's literally the entire movie. Like, her entire stick at the end of the movie is literally just her protecting her territory. That's it. She was not a good villain for Dominion. Okay, sorry I got off on a little tangent there. Any of them could win, yes, but at the end of the day, the Indominus has more advantages than the other 3. I'm siding with the Indominus Rex at the end of the day. The Indominus wins this heavyweight fight. Like and subscribe if you did enjoy. Leave a comment of what you think and hit the notification bell to be notified of all my future videos and all the great stuff. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.